So today we are going to talk about the best car for road tripping. Now most of us really do take a road trip. Whether you live in Africa, you're in Asia, Europe, USA, usually you'll take a road trip either to visit friends, go away somewhere for some R&R, to take, a spa day, business trip. Either way, you're driving there, and you want to know what is the best car for a road trip. So now someone told me, what is the best car for a road trip? I was kind of like, the car you've got. And then I realized it's actually something that people actually think about. A lot of people don't actually take their car for a road trip. Many people, and this may not be you, but many people do actually hire a car or take out one of these car rentals to take a road trip, especially if you go somewhere new. Say you have gone for a holiday on the continent and you want to go across to a whole new place. You might want to take out a car rental and take a road trip and see the surrounding area farther than, say, 5-10 miles from where you are. Hey Tony, how are you doing? So today we're going to talk about cars. In fact, one of my friends was saying that he was also thinking of buying a car, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to talk about cars today, not just for road tripping, but also if you want to buy a car. So let's talk cars. Let's talk cars right now. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kalungi of pkjewelsworld.com, where we bring the fun, freedom, and fulfillment to you, help you get your wanderlust on and get your travel mojo going so that you can live, see, do, be more. Now, for those of you that know me for the rest of the week, I also am a trainer, I'm a podcaster, I am a home-based business entrepreneur, or in simple terms, I work from home and make a living from home, and I run two brands. One's a training brand, which is jewelscalpoly.com, and the other is a travel fan hub, which is pkjewelsworld.com. I have been in the industry for 4 years, in the home-based business industry. I've been traveling for way longer than that, and I've been to numerous countries, 55 and counting, and I've got quite a bit of experience under my belt because of being on so many either road trips or flights. So I've got some experience going there. Hey Sylvie, how are you doing? So today I want to share my experience on the road trip side, and I'm just going to give you a bit of advice on what kind of car is best for a road trip, especially if you are renting one. The assumption is, say you've gone somewhere and you want to rent a car and you want to take that road trip and you want to just have a blast and not have to worry about paying somebody else for the time they are driving you from A to B. While we were in Uganda, we got a car, and so that kind of thing. What kind of car is the best in Uganda? I'll also tell you what kind of car I think is the best, considering the conditions of the roads, and of course the if you have a family of 4 and you have more people that are going to travel with you, you need a bigger car. So we'll talk about that. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I think I'm done sharing. I'll share more after. Let's talk about cars. So obviously there are two options. You may be a driver and you want to drive yourself, and you want to self-drive. I'm assuming you may not be driving from your home. If you're driving from your home, the best car for a road trip is your car, because why rent a car when you're at home? But if you're not at home, or if you're going on a business trip and you don't want to take your personal car, which car is the best? Now, you need a car that's comfortable, and you need a car that's capable on the roads that you're going to. That's a very important thing to think about. It's comfortable. You're going to be driving long distances if you're the driver. If you're the passenger, you want to be comfortable. There are some cars that are really uncomfortable in the passenger seats, especially in the back. So you want to take that into consideration. Hey Mariah, how are you doing? So comfort, space. If you say you're going to go camping, you want a boatload of space so you can grab your gear and put it in there. Let's just take that out the way. And here's the thing: drivability. Because when you're driving a car, if you're a driver, you will agree with me that there's nothing more annoying than road noise. If you can hear every noise, every bump when you're driving, it's very, very annoying. If you're going long distance, it can be really, you really get bored. If you've driven in LA before, I've driven in LA before, Los Angeles. The roads, I think their roads are made from concrete slabs. And literally, there's this noise as you're driving. It can be annoying. So the car you're driving, how it handles that road noise and reduces that matters. So we're not just looking for a thing that's going to hold you from A to B. We're looking for something that's going to get you wherever you're going in comfort, so that you don't develop some serious body pains. People suffer from sciatica. People suffer from back pains. If you're driving the wrong car, you're going to be in trouble. So don't just walk into a car rental and hire any old car. You want to consider these things. So I'm just going to share with you. Hey, Sass, how are you doing? Welcome to this broadcast. So if you're going to take a road trip, you want to consider the size of the car, how many people are going in the car, and how much baggage are you taking. So usually a bigger car is good. While recently we've just come back from Uganda, and while we were there, we had a Noah. And Noah is literally a big family car. Not only was it a Noah, it was a four-wheeler, because the roads in Uganda are atrocious, and I'm not even joking. I mean, here's the thing. It's become the norm in Uganda to drive automatic cars. Hey Fabio, how are you doing? But here's the question. Have you considered the health effects of driving an automatic on a bad road? When you're driving an automatic car, you are driving, and every time you want to stop, the car is already set in drive, and you're trying to stop the car while also driving. The car has a different instruction from the one you're giving it. So the brake of an automatic car is quite hard, and you have the same foot stepping on the brake, stepping on the accelerator. Let's call it the accelerator because there is no other thing to call it. There is no clutch in an automatic car because you have the brake, and the car does the clutch bit for you. So when you're driving an automatic car in a country or in an area or in terrain that is uneven, that has bad roads, you're putting pressure on your foot, on your knee, on your sciatic nerve. And if you've never had back pain before, you will get to know about back pain and leg pain sooner than later, driving an automatic car in a country or in a terrain that has bad roads. So thank you. A lot of Ugandans have embraced driving automatics. In fact, nobody drives nobody that I met was driving a manual car. I learned to drive in a manual car, and I absolutely love a manual car because I can change gears. I decide when to change gears. I decide when to slow down, speed up, whatever. In an automatic, the car does all that for you, but the only thing is that foot that's braking and driving is that repetitive action will cause repetitive strain on your foot, right up to your knee, right up to your sciatic nerve, ending into your back pain. I do not know how many people I know that have got back pain, and they're all saying, sorry, I'm speaking. The back pain is getting caused by that pain, that pressure on your sciatic nerve, because you're driving automatic cars on bad roads. Brake, stop, go. Traffic jam, bad roads, humps, lumps, bumps, holes, potholes, you name it. So if you're driving in a country or a terrain that has bad roads, consider hiring a manual car. Seriously. Because an automatic car, it sounds nice, it sounds good, but it isn't very good for your personal health if you're going to drive it long term. Now here's the thing. That automatic car, we drove it for about 3.5, almost 4 weeks. By that time, leg was hurting, back was hurting. There are people who are doing that every day. Every person I was asking was like, yeah, I've got pains in my leg, I've got pains in my back. So, hey Martha, how are you doing? So the best car for a road trip is that car that has comfort tailored into it, that's capable of getting you where you're going, that has the space you need for your gear, boot space, back space, people space, as in how many seats is it, how many seaters is it. We always had 6-7 people, so a 7-seater was what we needed. So we had a Noah, and we couldn't get a manual one, so we ended up with an automatic one, and it did great. It was also a four-wheeler that could go up that Wevaja hill. It was steep. It is a steep hill. So get a car that will actually get you where you're going in comfort. Comfort is very important. We drove some really big distances several times from Kampala to Masaka, to Mbarara, to wherever, far distances. So you want to make sure that there is room in that car so you can stretch out. If you're not the driver, the driver has no choice but to be there manning and paying attention to the road and driving. But the passengers, well, comfort is important, isn't it? So you want to look at the price, because you might be going for a big car, but how much does it cost? Now let's look at cost, because this is something that you can consider. If you're buying a car, say like I said in the beginning, you might be driving your own car. And if you've not bought a car, these are things you might consider. So if you're buying a car, this is something you might take into consideration. What's the cost of that car? Now, obviously, in many places in Africa, you buy the car outright. There is no car loan, there is no car leasing, there is no hire purchase. But in many places, Europe, Asia, USA, and some parts of Africa, you can actually take out hire purchase. What's the cost of that car? 5-year cost to own that car. Fair purchase price is very important. If you're buying that car, what's the purchase price vis-a-vis the deterioration price? Because the minute you drive that car out of that car lot, it starts to diminish. There are very few cars that appreciate in value. The only cars that do that are what we call antiques. It was built so many years ago. Thank you, Martha, for sharing. You're a rock star. And therefore, it starts to appreciate in value because it's older than 20 years. And it's being now taken as something that people desire to own. Now, it's no longer a car. It's like a piece of art. So it's no longer a car, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about a car you want to use for business, road trips, pleasure trips, that kind of thing. So depreciation value is very important. Look at the depreciation value. If you're buying cars to use as an investment for road trippers or for people hiring those cars to drive and to do whatever they need to do, take road trips, do business trips, short visits, you want to consider the value of the car when you buy it. How much will it cost you in 5 years' time? What's the depreciation value of that car? Because some cars depreciate way faster than others. For instance, if you buy a Mercedes-Benz, it won't depreciate as fast as a Toyota. In the UK, a Toyota will hold its value, by the way. It's considered more than, say, a Ford car. But then again, you want to know which car is safer as well. Safety, I'm not talking about safety in terms of are you safe inside the car. If there was a problem, if somebody bashed you from the back, how safe is your car? If your car rolled, how safe is that car? God forbid, touch wood, none of that happens. So let's look at more positive options for your car. Fuel consumption, very important. Oh my goodness. You don't want to be buying a 4-liter Guzzler, because I don't know how much fuel costs where you live, but I know that here in the UK, it is not cheap. Fuel is not cheap. It's almost £1. And in Uganda, literally, fuel was $1 or more. $1 for just a liter of fuel. And yet Americans are screaming murder for a gallon for the same price. So what's the fuel consumption? Is it a Guzzler or is it a nice little runner? One of the reasons I have not taken up my one of the benefits I received from one of the platforms I promote, which is what it used to be called a BMW allowance. We now call it a lifestyle allowance. I prefer to use that money for other things because I want to drive a car I'm not gonna be thinking about fuel every 2 minutes. So I have a Suzuki as opposed to a Beamer. I love my Suzuki. It is a great runner. It's high on the road, so I feel like I'm in a big massive Range Rover, and it takes me where I want to go at under 1.6 liters. Sweet. So insurance is very important. Here's the deal. Obviously, when you're on a road trip, the hire company, the car rental company should have that car insured. Do not go anywhere without travel insurance. Period. because if anything happens to you, it happened to me. You can see my beautiful smile because I had insurance while I was in Uganda. I chomped on a sugar cane and my tooth went pop. If I didn't have insurance, it would have cost me a cool 2 million Uganda shillings just to have that tooth done. It's very expensive medical insurance, but we're talking about car insurance here. The car that you are driving in may not have enough insurance to cover you and the passengers if anything happened to you. So if you are insured for your travels, you could have that extra protection and extra safety net to fall back on. So you want to consider how much does it cost to insure that car. If you are buying that car so that as a business investment so that people can hire it for road trips, definitely insurance is a high on that list of things you want to consider when you are buying your car or hiring that car for a road trip. Maintenance, how much does it cost to maintain that car? If you're just hiring it, it's none of your business. But here's the deal. In some places, you go travel some places, and it is not something that you should worry about, but it's something you should be aware about. There are some car dealers, some car rentals, not Avis, not Enterprise, not any of those well-known ones, but smaller companies which will actually deliberately damage the car and then charge you for the repair. So you want to know how much does it cost to repair a car if anything were to happen to it. You want to know because you know the price. They won't overcharge you for it. And be careful where you go hiring your car because they might charge you for something you didn't do. They come and scratch the car and say, you took this car, you hired it, it had no scratch, now it's got a scratch, it's got a dinge, it's got a dent. Some people will do anything for money. Just don't get caught out. So hire your car from a reputable establishment. Avis is one of them. We are blessed to be part of our community, a global travel club where we can hire cars, take car rentals out with established and great partners that know what we want and cannot take us to the cleaners because they know we have that cover from our travel club. But if you're not part of such an establishment, you need to know where to be covered. So repairs, how much does it cost to repair? Remember, maintenance is different from repair because maintenance is something you have to do whether the car needs repair or not. But repair is when something actually happens that should not happen to a car, and therefore you're forking out for that repair. Now, here's the deal. To repair, say, a VW or an Audi or a Mercedes costs a bomb. To repair my little Suzuki costs a bomb. But to repair a Ford, to repair, say, a Vauxhall, to repair Fiat, does not cost as much because there are more of those cars. There are more dealerships with that. These dealerships are also locally based and the parts are produced here. So when you're buying a car, consider whether it's produced in the country you live in. Obviously, in Africa, we don't have that luxury, in Uganda anyway. But if there are more of those cars, then you'll find that the parts are also available because the dealers will make sure they've got the parts so that they can have trade roaring. You know, roaring trade, they have the parts, they're selling the car, maintenance, servicing, repairing of the same. So if there are more of those cars that you're buying, then you'll have maintenance costs also lower and repair costs for you. But if you've got some of that and you're like, heck, like life is too damn short, I'm gonna buy the car I want, absolutely go for the car of your dreams. Go for that amazing car you want to go on a road trip. Get that Range Rover, get your kids in, get your boo in, get your bae in. Go for that road trip and have a bloody blast. Here's the deal. What else do you need to know when you are considering a car? What are others saying? You want to go check out the reviews. You want to check out the reviews because people tell you about the car rental agency you're looking to rent from. They'll tell you the car sales establishment you're going to buy the car from or to hire purchase the car from. They'll tell you about the rating. You'll find the ratings, especially If it's a holiday type rental, you just get onto TripAdvisor. You'll find some great reviews over there, or reviews.com. Again, you'll find great reviews over there. What are the experts saying? Because there are some expert reviews online. You want to know what experts are saying about that specific car before you take it out and take it on a road trip. Buyer's guides, best lists, go find those things. Awards for cars. I know for sure that the Hondas are great, really safe cars to drive, but they're not very cheap here in the UK. So these are the things you want to look out for when you are looking for a car. The best news is you don't have to spend a ton on a road trip. It's literally just get in your car, go. The bad news is, if anything happens to that car, if you don't have travel insurance, you're up shit creek with some serious bills to pay. So if you want to know where to have the best road trip and to have a ton of fun and live your life, because life is not something that you should look at like you're gonna live forever. This life is fatal. No one lives alive. We all have to leave this planet at some point or other. Before you go, you want to leave some amazing memories for the people that you leave behind. You want to create some peak life experiences for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones. You want to go see some more shows, eat cuisine, do a handstand on a beach. You want to go sit by a beach in the Caribbean and watch the blue ocean reflecting the blue skies, and watch some yachts going by, watch some people kayaking and do all kinds of amazing stuff. You want to go on up a mountain cabin and just refresh your soul and just live with nature. You want to go bird watching or primate watching in the Mgahinga forest. You want to do all those things because they were created for you. These resorts, these hotels, they were built for people like you and I. They were not built for there's no name on them. They were built for you. So you want to go see these places. They don't cost a fortune if you know where to look. And you watching, you deserve to see these places. You deserve to go on what we call a dream trip and create peak life experiences and really have your children think you're their hero. Superman cannot compete. I'm telling you, Wonder Woman cannot compete with me, with my children, because they know I take them to the most fun places on this planet, period. You want to do that with your children. You want to do that for your children. You want to also give them a head start in life, because the people you hang out with are the people that your children will end up hanging out with. Well, if you're bringing them up right, they'll want to hang out with the people, with the families that you hang out with. So which families are you hanging out with? I'm not being snobbish here, but why not? Be a snob. Be a snob when it comes to your children. Make sure they're hanging out with the right people, because the networks we build are the networks that help us to build a net worth that is worth writing home about. Nobody's gonna ask you how many jobs you did. Nobody's gonna ask you how clean your home was. But I guarantee you, your children will remember those amazing vacations you took them on. They will remember those amazing places you took them. Those memories you create when you give them a treat and you take them to Disney World, when you take them to Paris, you take them to Florida, you take them to the Caribbean, you take them to Uganda. They will never, ever, ever forget these memories, because that is what life is. That is what life is about. So what are you doing? What are you doing to create those opportunities and to create that income that's gonna help you create those life experiences? Are you actively looking for these opportunities to create an extra income to give your family those extra luxuries in life? Are you actively looking for it? If you are not, you should actively go out there and look for those opportunities that will help increase your net worth, so that you can give yourself, your community, your children, your loved ones, your church, your locality more. Give more and build those legacies where people say, if it wasn't for Martha, I don't know where I would be. People will remember you, because trust me on this, if tomorrow I expired, people would go, oh, poor, oh, too bad, sorry, rest in peace, and move on. But if I've impacted more lives by the things I do and by the life I lead and by how I serve people, there'll be more people willing to take not just a quick type on Facebook, but they will be willing to come out physically and say something and say bye to me in their physical presence, or do something more. So who are you impacting? Who are you impacting? You just don't need to sit back and wait for life to happen. You need to make it happen for you. You can reach out to me. I am always willing to share an opportunity with you to help you build that extra income, or that income. If you are not creating any income right now, you're maybe sitting at home and you're looking for what to do, you can start your own opportunity. You can start something today that will make your children smile and call you their hero tomorrow. So reach out to me if that is you, or you can head on to pkjulesworld.com/fun, as in fun. So pkjulesworld.com/fun. I'll leave the link above this video. And if you're on YouTube, I'll leave the link below this video. And I wish you safe road trips wherever you are going. Get the right car. Consider comfort, consider capability, consider size, fuel consumption. If you're gonna own it, what's the price? How long will you be paying for it? What's the maintenance cost? What's the insurance on it? Repair costs? What is its depreciation value? If you're looking at it as a business, you're gonna be serving people who are road tripping. All those things that you have to consider. You can consider things. A Honda is one of the safest cars I know, and I don't even drive one right now. I know when I'm going on a road trip, that's the kind of car I'd like. And that's it from me. Rise and shine to your awesome destiny. You know you want to. This is your girl Julie Kalungi on Travel Tuesdays. Until next Tuesday, be good, see, do, be more. You deserve. And if you have not yet followed me, what are you waiting for? Click that button right above me right now. If you are on YouTube, subscribe. Share this video with somebody who you know might actually appreciate it or love it too. Drop a comment. Let me know what you want me to handle next Tuesday. Do you have a question? I'm happy to answer if it's travel related. And thank you for joining me live. You absolutely rock.